Hey y'all, welcome to the Throttle podcast. I'm your host, Earnest, here today with my co-host, Evan Sager.
Hello, y'all.
Alright, we're going to jump right into it here with some other kind of, I don't want to call it loose storylines, but sure. NHRA has released their next 5 drivers that are added to their 75 greatest drivers list. Those 5 are Antron Brown, Ron Capps, Greg Anderson, Matt Smith, and Dan Fletcher. So, pretty great names on that list, and we'll see Antron and Ron Capps and Greg Anderson and Matt Smith. We'll all see them competing next year in NHRA's 75th season. We'll see. I mean, that season is just going to be great with all the new storylines of just the whole 75th anniversary season with all the prestige and then just all the storylines. Like, for example, where's Austin Prock going to go?
Right.
Which there's rumors that he's going to go to Bob Tasca's team in a second funny car, and that's rumored to be announced within the next couple days with, like, Ford Racing's launch, which it's also interesting that Red Bull, like, is partnering with Ford for some, like, powertrain so that they can get back into F1, which, I mean, with them and Audi and Cadillac all joining F1, I mean, I might have to start talking about F1 on this podcast. I mean, but that's a whole
nother issue.
That's a whole separate episode. So, yeah. Other big news. Tony Stewart will return to the Truck Series for the first time since 2005 in the free agent number 25 Ram truck for Kaulig Racing at Daytona. We'll see what he can do. I mean, there was, I think, like, a span of like 6 years. It was like 5 or 6 years where he practically won like every single one of the like Daytona Xfinity season opener races. So
yeah,
I wonder if he can do the same in that Ram truck.
I know my dad's happy about it. I texted him the picture. He's like, "Hell yeah!" But my dad is an old Tony Stewart fan, so he had some choice words to say. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna, like, going forward, if they're going to put Cletus in that truck as well. Because he's set to run, I think it was like 5 ARCA races, and on his video he said it was going to be like Daytona, Talladega, Kansas, Michigan, and
Bristol.
Who knows, he might, yeah. I would think Bristol would be the 5th one, but honestly, he might add even more after that, and he might add a couple truck races. Who knows what all he does, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Not only with that, to see what Kaulig does with 5 Ram trucks, and you know who they're gonna put in that 5th truck in that Race for the Seat reality television program. So,
which we'll find that out in a couple weeks.
Yes, we will. So, yeah. Getting into some sponsor news, Supply House, which is an HVAC company, will sponsor Tyler Reddick for multiple races in 2026, starting with the Spring Kansas race on April 19th, which I'm still probably going to try and go to that. We'll see.
It's the day after my birthday.
Yes. Your 19th birthday.
I know.
Old. I'm just kidding. We're both 18, so we're in the same boat. Also, Chef Boyardee. Man, it's been a while since I had some Chef Boyardee. Those are good raviolis.
Very good.
They will sponsor Ricky Stenhouse for the Bowman Gray Clash, the Daytona 500, and Spring Talladega.
I'm excited to see a new sponsor. I mean, when they ran with Fun Pops last year, I mean, it's new. I shouldn't say new sponsorship, but old but new sponsorship, if that makes sense. Back in the day, they would always sponsor a couple race cars here and there, but it's nice to see them just fully on one race car, not as like a contingency sponsor.
Yeah. And Chili's has signed a multi-year extension to stay on Carson Hocebar's number 77 at Spire. Their first race in 2026, which of course we don't know how many races they're going to run or if any new paint scheme design they're going to come up with. But their first race in 2026 is Circuit of the Americas on March 1st, which is in Chili's home state of Texas, where they're based from. So, yeah. Switching gears now, the big North Wilkesboro test, they had their large organizational test today as they tested out the 750 horsepower package, as well as NASCAR themselves. They tested out different combinations of tires and suspension and aero adjustments as well. There's definitely some fall off, and while the horsepower isn't that noticeable, but to be fair on NASCAR's part, the test occurred, in the middle of January.
Yeah.
Where the temperatures are much colder than when the actual race will be ran in mid-July, where we'll probably see much more fall off thanks to a nice, hot, slick racetrack. So, and I think what's also going to be intriguing is there's honestly quite a few different schedule just adjustments and stuff. I mean, Wilkesboro is in the middle of July on a hot, slick track, and like Watkins Glen got moved to May, and Dover's the all-star race. So crew chiefs are definitely going to be thrown for a loop this year, just like they are in NHRA, being that there's like 4 new different tracks for them with South Georgia and US 131 and Rockingham and Maryland International Raceway, and both US 131 and Rockingham are in the countdown. So it's gonna be crazy. And honestly, even if you expand it to IndyCar, I mean, they're having Phoenix come back for the first time in almost a decade. They're having a dang street course around AT&T Stadium and Globe Life Field in Arlington,
which is pretty cool. I can't lie.
Yeah, and then like Laguna Seca is getting moved to the finale instead of where it was in like June or July, and Nashville gets moved into July that same weekend as Wilkesboro. So, and even though it's going to be a night race, it's going to be hot and slick in Nashville.
Yeah.
So,
it's a slick night.
A lot of hot and slick.
All right.
Okay, pause. Not like that. But yeah, crew chiefs are definitely going to be scrambling all over the place, whether it's new tires, new aero, but mostly in terms of NASCAR's sake, the new 750 horsepower package, especially on these short tracks. Hopefully, it improves the racing quality. Although then again, I mean, if you want to make it easier to pass, then take away the rear view camera that allows you to just drive like... I mean, imagine if we were allowed to have a rear view camera on the interstate.
Literally.
Like, it'd turn into like a Talladega race at that point. I mean, it kind of already is, but it depends on what interstate you're on.
Yeah. Depends on how many lanes you get.
Yep. Anyways, getting into now the Chili Bowl. The 40th Chili Bowl runs this week inside the SageNet Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's a temporary dirt track every year. Multiple NASCAR drivers are involved once again this year, including Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell, who have both won the prestigious Golden Driller 3 times, including Larson, who won last year. Jesse Love, Ty Gibbs, and Sheldon Creed are also some of the other high-profile NASCAR drivers running in the Chili Bowl this year. Larson won Monday's qualifying feature, aka yesterday. Bell won the Race of Champions on Monday as well, and the Golden Driller trophy is much larger this year in time for the Chili Bowl's 40th anniversary. I mean, they turned it from like I don't want to say like a handheld size, but I mean, yeah, it's kind of how
it's a little bigger,
large it was, and now it's like big. So
Aki the long way.
Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, we'll have more on the Chili Bowl come time for next week's episode, because we'll find out who actually wins.
Yes.
The whole big Golden Driller. But yeah, I haven't seen any news on the qualifying feature from tonight, so I'm willing to bet knowing my luck, as soon as I hit publish on this episode, they're gonna tell me, and I'm like, bruh.
Yes.
But, yeah. But getting into the big bulk, what everybody's been waiting for, the new NASCAR points system, aka just a modified version of the Chase.
Chase for the Sprint Cup is back, baby.
Yes. Chase for the NASCAR Cup. I don't know. But, of course, the original Chase was from 2004 to 2013 with some own minor alterations in between those years. You could argue that this is just another alteration of the Chase, but it depends.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, but yeah. So they announced yesterday they'll be reverting to the Chase in 2026 this year, with just a few differences from, what you remember from 04 to 2013. Number 1, still going to be 16 drivers for Cup, 12 for the O'Reilly Series, and 10 for the Truck Series. So that doesn't change. Number 2, no more winning in. Thank God.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool for some of the small back marker teams to get in, which was nice. But I mean,
here's the thing:
consistency is key.
It got rid of the whole point of winning because, for example, you think of Harrison Burton winning at Daytona in 2024, and it's like, wins aren't celebrated like they used to be, because it used to be, wow, Harrison Burton got a win, such great news. Oh yeah, he's won his way into the playoffs, and then even a thrilling regular season race like Kansas that spring of 24, thrilling entertainment, jaw dropping, and then it's just you've locked up a spot in the playoffs. Or, well, I guess Larson won, so he was already locked up, but still, you get the point. It just kind of it puts a damper on it. You don't want to think about playoffs in that way, where every single week you're in the playoffs, no.
It depends on who you ask, I feel like.
Yeah. Number 3, the first place driver in the chase, the regular season champion, when they enter the chase, they will start with a 25-point advantage over second, and then second has a 10-point advantage over third, and then it's 5 points separating each position after that, all the way down to 16th. So first place starts with 2,100 points, and 16th has a clean 2,000. So number 4, race wins are now worth 55 points instead of 40 points like they used to be. But every other position and the stage points and all that, they are all still the same as they were in the elimination era. So those are just carried over. So, yeah. But if you look at it at a broader scale, this format, or more like the reversal to a form of the chase, kind of just means that NASCAR admits and considers that the elimination playoffs is a failure.
Yeah.
And to help explain why, let's look at an article that I wrote back in April of 2025, which was like the end of my junior year. And, I mean, that predicted what NASCAR to do to fix this. And, yeah, I don't want to consider it a time capsule, but looking back on it, it kind of is. I mean,
a little bit, yes. I will agree. It's a little bit like a time capsule to us, considering I was part of that story. So
yeah. So, but it goes into a lot of detail, and to kind of skim through it, basically, it's like in the elimination format, you had championships come down to one race, and it's just like you could technically win the first 35 races, finish second in the last race, and still lose the championship. Yeah. You didn't have that. And so it's just like, there's so many elimination format championships that you can look at, and it just leaves a sour taste in everybody's mouth. I mean, the only 3 that I would consider, I don't want to say good taste in everybody's mouth, because it's not true, but there's still some people that are mad from how those outcomes went. But, I mean, Truex in 2017, Kyle Busch in 2019, although that's even debated by itself, being that he was the third winningest driver on his own team. But, yeah, and then Larson in 21. But, Logano's championships, and then, Hamlin losing the championship.
When everyone knows dang well he was supposed to win that championship.
Yeah, it's just, it leaves a sour taste in everybody's mouth. And sure, that happened in the chase, and even in the Winston format, and even in older formats before Winston became title sponsor, but it wasn't nearly as common. And it comes to a point where, what defines a legitimate champion? And
it's a very vague line nowadays.
Yeah.
Now with the chase back, I feel like it'll change a lot more.
Yeah. But honestly, even if we just look at it as here's the point system, and then, here's these playoff points and stages, and it's I mean, this is about to be the beginning of our 11th seasons watching the sport, and our 10th full-time season. And, like,
we're ready for a change. Let's put it that way.
Like, even I had to go back, like, when I wrote this article, even I had to go back and make sure I had everything right. I mean, like, good luck trying to explain it to new fans. And so I really like how, with the chase, they really didn't change all that much. It's just, here's a few things that we're going to change, and we're going to explain it clearly. And it's like, okay, I feel like it resonates better with newer fans and younger fans and casual fans, which is what NASCAR desperately needs, and really pretty much everybody in the whole motorsports landscape. So, yeah, but, like, even, I mean, TV ratings have been way down. In-person attendance has been way down. You see how many tracks will, like,
take out seating to make it look
they'll
more
either
full.
take out seating or, like, Indy. I've been to Indy a couple times, and both times they've had, like, tarps on a bunch of the seats. It's
yeah,
and it's highly unlikely we'll ever get back to where we were at our peak, but there's definitely things that we can fix, and there's definitely a good correlation to a sharp decline, because in the 90s and 2000s with Winston, and then over the Nextel and the Chase, ratings were peak. I mean, not only was NASCAR the most popular American motorsport, they were the second most popular sport in America, and at times even rivaled the NFL in ratings, which is crazy to think about 20 years later. I mean, the most watched race on TV was the 2006 Daytona 500, which again is crazy because it's been 20 years since we've gotten to that point. And look where we are now versus where we were 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So, I mean, NASCAR just tried to up the entertainment for better TV with, playoffs, elimination, high stakes, one race to decide it all. It's just, no.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the playoff races. I mean, they even had worse ratings than regular season races. Hell, NHRA, and no disrespect to them, but NHRA on Fox, which Fox has just disrespected NHRA with its promotional coverage and stuff, and sure, NHRA had a lead-in with Fox's NFL coverage, but last year, in October, for the Texas Fall Nationals, NHRA outdid Cup, which was at Vegas on USA for a playoff race. And that's the other thing, too. You're on USA Network, a cable channel, for a playoff race. If you're going to hype up one of your intense playoff races, why put it on a cable network?
Yeah,
like,
I don't get that either, honestly.
Like, I'm fine with streaming because, like, it's the future or whatever, and it's like, okay, you need to adapt, but, like, there should be very few cable races on the schedule. And, like, if you're going to put cable races on the schedule, put it, like,
in the middle of the season, not in the playoffs.
Don't put it in the playoffs. So, I mean, the only 4 races that I think topped, I think it was either 4 million or 6 million viewers. I think it was 4 million viewers. The only 4 that did that last year was the 4 races on Big Fox. Daytona, Atlanta, Coda, which was the first 3 races of the year, and then Spring Talladega. That's it.
Yeah, they're trying to make as much money possible without thinking of the casual fans that won't tune into a USA race, because most people don't have cable.
Yeah, and I'm willing to bet, like, if you ask somebody off the street, like, what is USA Network?
I don't know.
Yeah. Like,
stupid, that's all I gotta say.
I don't know. I just, like, even back in 2001, it's like, yeah, they had Fox and FX, but it's like, okay, like, and sure, it was simpler times back then, I get that, but I don't know. It's just, I don't want to say it's a promotional problem, but I just feel like that
it is, though. It really is.
They could have done much better with the media rights deal. So, and even the quality of racing, like, there's good playoff races, but I think of Kansas, and even going back into 2024, I think of Homestead, that great finish with Reddick and Talladega and all that, but I just feel like, especially in recent years, the most iconic moments have mostly, for the most part, been in the regular season. You think of last year, You think of Elliott winning at his home track in Atlanta. I was there. You think of Bubba winning at Indy, which, ironically, I was there. But I'm trying not to be biased here, but, yeah. I mean, it's just... Racing, for the most part, it just seems like it's better in the regular season because, you know, on one side of the coin, yeah, there's not really, you know, you're not going to get... You don't have to worry about, oh, you know, I need this many points to get to the next round, but also, like, at the same time, there's no interference with the sport, with the playoffs. You can just focus on racing hard for the win.
Yeah.
Which, in turn, usually makes the racing better. So,
theoretically, should,
yeah.
but...
Yeah. I mean, races are more competitive when they just play out on their own, because if you have a playoffs that puts winning above all else instead of focusing on being consistent and finishing all the races and getting wins here or there, you know, you end up with not legitimate champions or champions that were like
that shouldn't have won, but did. Kyle Larson 2025.
Yeah, it was rough, but I mean,
yeah, tell me about it.
All right,
tell me about it, Buckaroo. You don't understand the pain I felt that night.
Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting to see what Hamlin decides on, anyways. But that's gonna be a whole different episode. But and like NASCAR is completely random. You can't have a playoffs with just such a small sample size, or you know, a one race championship when it's so random with tire failures, motor failures, rain, snow, fog, fans just deciding to climb a fence, a dang fire on the side of a hillside,
random
while
squirrel,
the race is going.
or the digger cam.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say rodents getting on the
bring
track.
back the digger cam.
Yeah.
That was so cool back in the day.
Yeah, just
stuff like that. They need to engage more of the younger fan base, and I feel like that was one of them. But I don't know why they went away from it. I really don't.
I mean, it was nice that they allowed like every in-car camera for every car, but then they decided to put it on HBO Max.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like, who has HBO Max besides the people that want to watch like
movies and stuff,
reality
like
TV shows and movies? And then it's just like, oh hey, NASCAR in-car camera. It's just like, is that really gonna captivate anybody?
No, it's
like,
really not.
So, but if you have a championship come down to one race, you just know something is gonna go wrong. And well, looking back on it, it went wrong. But I mean, the elimination format was just
it was ready. It was
broken.
time. It was time.
It was time. I mean, if it was supposed to determine a legitimate champion, it failed.
It really did.
Except for like Truex and Larson and but I don't know. But if this format was supposed to bring more viewers on TV, it failed.
Yeah.
Both in the playoff races and overall, TV ratings have been down, or at best flat.
Yeah.
Which is still down. And I mean, if this format was supposed to have good quality of racing during the most important stretch of races in your season that you hype up all year long, it failed.
Yeah.
And if this format was supposed to be an easy to understand point system and supposed to be better than the Winston points format back in the day, or even the Chase, it failed. I mean, you know it's bad when we've been NASCAR fans for over a decade, and it's like when I wrote this article, I had to double check and make sure I had everything. Like, that is just no. Like, you're not going to appeal to casual fans to that. You're definitely not going to appeal to younger fans that way either. You know, why did younger NASCAR fans get sucked into NASCAR? One, because it was mainstream media and easy to find. Two, you had colorful cars ripping around at fast speeds with, like M&Ms and
Snickers and stuff like that. Sponsorships that younger kids would understand instead of like FICO, for example, or Zone nicotine pouches and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like, the sponsorships are gone. The cars don't even move as fast because we went from 950 to 750 to like the garbage 550 horsepower package, and then we went to like 670 with the next gen, and it's like, okay, now we're getting 750 horsepower, and it's like, yeah, but it's still not 900 horsepower. Yeah, what we had in like 2014. Like, man. I mean, even if we went back a decade, NASCAR was in such a better position than it was. And it's just, I don't know. It needs to be fixed. And luckily, they at least decided to go with the chase, but I don't know. It depends on, the activation. Like, how can you appeal this to casual fans? How can you appeal this to the mainstream and get it in the mainstream and get more TV viewers and people at the track? And that's something for the new commissioner, whoever they decide, which they should have already had a new one ready to go, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So that's whoever the new commissioner's job is going to be. I mean, it might just be Steve O'Donnell for all we know, but I don't know. And it's crazy looking back because I predicted that the win in your end would be gone. And I predicted that we'd have the championship location be in a rotation and change with Homestead. And I technically also had Phoenix and Vegas and Kansas in there, which might end up being the 4 in that rotation. And then, the one race championship shouldn't exist. And, well, I hit on all those, which is crazy to think about because, again, this was April of last year before any of this was mainstream news. So, not to brag, but here we are. Yeah. I really hope that they're able to make this work and make it more appealing to younger fans, casual fans, and all that. Because if they can't, then
they're screwed.
Yeah. I mean, by the time the new media rights deal in 2031 is going to come out, we're just going to be even more screwed. I mean, IndyCar's chipping away. I mean, come on. 17 races, they're all on Fox. You know where to go if you want to watch an IndyCar race. You go to Fox. It's simple. I mean, and even NHRA, Fox treats them like absolute garbage, and even then still, it's either on Fox or FS1. Can you imagine how simple it'd be if NASCAR went back to what it was in 2001 when that media deal came out then, where it was just Fox. At the time it was FX, but now it's, it'd be FS1 and then NBC and, TNT, which you could keep TNT or do USA or whatever, or do NBC and Prime. But, I don't know. And then F1 is expanding even more and more into America by the day. Yeah. I mean, we've gone from, the U.S. Grand Prix used to be at Indy for a while, and then that kind of crashed and burned, and then it took 5 years for F1 to even come back to America. Then they were at COTA for a decade, and all of a sudden, boom, here's Vegas, here's Miami. And now going into this year, Red Bull is partnering with Ford for a team, and Audi's coming into F1, and Cadillac's coming into F1. Cadillac's supposed to unveil their livery during the Super Bowl. Trust me, that will get eyes. That will get eyes on casual Americans into F1.
Yeah.
When's the last time have you seen a NASCAR ad in the Super Bowl that's not for the 500? Yeah. Or not just the same old generic Daytona 500 commercial? When has NASCAR come up with a actual Super Bowl commercial?
Something different than what they always do.
Exactly. IndyCar came out with a whole line of commercials last year, and they're doing it again this year. They're keeping Newgarden and Palou and Pato O'Ward, and they're adding in Will Power, who just went to Andretti Autosport. So it was actually supposed to premiere last weekend during Wildcard Weekend, but I think I heard that they're going to start showing them this weekend for the divisional, and they're going to put all of them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Even though the Super Bowl's on NBC, they don't care. They'll put it down there. But I don't know. If NASCAR doesn't fix this, or at least make it to where they're in a better position, 5 years from now than where they were with the Chase, or I guess the revamped Chase, because it's not a new format, but it's also kind of not really a modified format of the Chase, but I don't know. it's a revamped chase, and hopefully NASCAR can revamp themselves with not just the chase, but with the 750 horsepower package, the new schedule, and, you know, whoever's going to be the new commissioner of NASCAR as well. I don't know. It's just NASCAR can either be in a really, really good position in 5 to 10 years, or they can be in a really, really bad position.
Time will tell.
F1 will be better than them. IndyCar will definitely be better than them. Maybe even NHRA, but I think that's a little far. But I don't know. IndyCar is in the best position right now because they're catering to casual younger fans, and every single race is on main Fox. It's not even Fox FS1. Every single race is on main Fox. And even like every single practice and qualifying session is either like Fox or FS1. It is so easy to find IndyCar, and they're so mainstream. Sure is IndyCar but I just wish NASCAR was just that much more mainstream, and just, I don't know. That's just our opinions as casual. Well, we're not casual, but yeah.
Y'all understand what we're talking about.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's all we got for this week's episode of the Throttle Floor podcast. Make sure you tune in and listen and download and on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Check out the Chill Photography and Throttle Floor podcast, Instagram, and TikToks. And speaking of photography, I did a nice little photo shoot and fun stuff with Evan's Mustang. So
photos are TBH,
yes.
Or to be determined, I should say. TBD, sorry.
Yeah.
Wrong term for the young folk out there listening to our podcast.
Young folk? You mean your dad? Yeah. That's all we got for this week's episode of the R4 podcast. We'll see you next week with the Chili Bowl results, and and Rolex 24s coming up, and pretty soon before we know it'll be the Clash, and then Daytona. All will be restored in the world. So.
All right, have a good night, y'all. Catch y'all next week.